Hi, Deb here with the extended version of Tarot Thursday, and I'm going to pick a card for every month, starting with the birthday month, those born in August. So let's see what your card is for this month, and for this week actually, because it's going to be every Thursday that I do the monthly card, and on Tuesdays it's the zodiac sign. So here, this is for August. Now we have the 10 of Wands and we have it in reverse. So when I see that, it's letting go of the burdens, and the wands are all about your purpose and your mission. And you've been a little bit, when you look at him, it's a big load you've been carrying. So this is telling me, when this card is in reverse, it's saying that you're about to put down your burdens. You've had enough. You're either going to write a list and delegate some things back out to people that you can know and trust. The thing is that they've given it to you, all of these burdens, because you're the one that's quite a responsible person and you can get a lot done. So I do believe that, pat yourself on the back, but I also do know that you're getting a little bit fed up and you're wanting to put those things on paper so that you can move ahead. Look here. In the front of that road there, out in the distance, is a house. So to me, that is where your tribe is, the ones that you resonate with, and you'll just have had enough of just doing the Groundhog Day, and it's time for you to literally verbally say to people, no, I'm not going to be doing that anymore. You know, the saying, they say, give somebody that's busy a job to do and they'll get it done. Well, no more. You're putting your hand up and saying, no, here's my boundaries and here's the list of things that I want you to do, and it'll make you it'll make them a better person by you giving them back some responsibility. So I'm just going to write down August, what your card was, and the 10, just letting you know that the 10 of any of the suits is the highest one. So you know, that's why I say you've had enough. If it was the 2 of Wands or the 3 of Wands or the 5 of Wands, you're building towards something. But this is really telling me you have had enough of all the burdens that you've been carrying on your shoulders. You're quite practical and realistic about things, but no, they're going to fall away for you to be able to find your way. So I'm loving this card, the 10 of Wands. So let's see what September has to offer, and I'll just shuffle the cards, and just know that on Tuesdays I'm doing a card for every zodiac sign, and you watch me right from the word go of the shuffling of it so that you know it's real. I'm not just picking the cards out because I want to. It's like them upstairs have been called upon to give me permission to show you what you really need to hear for the month of September. Please, we need September. Goodness me, can you believe that we're almost up to September? We're halfway through August. When did that happen? It's flown. Oops, see how it's sort of sticking out the side there? I'm going to take this one here. Wow, lovely card. It's actually 19 of the Major Arcana story. So anything that's from the Major Arcana, just know it's amplified meaning. 10, 20 times bigger than, say, that court card that we just had, or that other card, the 10, even though it was high. A Major Arcana card is amplified meaning, and we have for September the Sun coming back, riding your white divine horse here, your purpose, your mission, holding on to that red flag that little baby is, and that's talking about bringing something from the top of the flag down onto the earth. So something logical, practical, you know, is virtually being on this white divine horse as a baby is telling me that along the way you've gained all of these, I don't know, speed bumps, restrictions. I mean, how did we not say no to our babies? Don't touch the stove. Don't, no, don't. So we suppress, without realizing it, that expansion of consciousness and that playful, inquisitive nature of a baby. And this card is the Sun, and the Sun is everywhere and it needs and gives life, doesn't it? So we are coming back to why we are here. This is the September babies, the September birth babies. So yes, and the Sun flowers in the background, and you can see the wall there. So some of us have had to climb over that wall. Some of us have had uppercuts and things, and like those speed bumps, and the saying no to you little babies, and that has to all evolve because it's caused you to have this block of confidence. So the sun is your character in the tarot, and in astrology your sun is about your character. So your sun sign is like mine's Cancer. That's the one that we all know is the sun sign. There's also a moon sign, which is about your emotional personality, and then there's your rising sign and your ascendant, which is about why you're here, how you approach life. So just know that the sun coming up here for you September people, it's just saying that you're getting back in touch with your roots, with why you want to, what you want to and what you want to be for the rest of your life in this meat body on this earth. And the sunflowers are a symbol of that awe, that fun, that playfulness. It's such a sunny flower. It follows the sun, doesn't it? From the morning to the night, you'll see the paddocks, and they'll be in a different, facing a different way when you drive past. So definitely channel this, you September babies, because this is you taking off and getting in touch with your younger child, the reason and purpose why you're here on this earth. So September is number 19 of the Major Arcana card, the Sun. Wonderful. September, October. Let's see what October has. So October babies, what do you need to know? And I mean, October is, you know that the months are quite thrown out, because October would be 8, wouldn't it? And yet it's, when we write it, it's the 10th month. Another Major Arcana card. I'm getting excited. So this is 10, which is meaning that you're at a crossroads with that cross there. So when I see October, people, this is like a compass, and it's spinning, and it can be spinning to the point where all your Akashic records, all of these little figures here have the Akashic records in their hands, and they're looking down at it. So that's your fate and your destiny. I believe in spirit world there's a library up there that has every single person's past lives. I've done meditations and taken people there, and they've got quite a lot of insight from opening up their book and flipping through the pages. If not straight away down, like after they have a couple of nights sleep, they'll come and get dreams, and they'll be able to work out where their correct path is meant to be. So that would be good for the September people. So October, ladies and gentlemen, you have a compass with the angel. There's an angel, there's a dragon, an angel human, there's a lion down here, and a bull, which I went to India to do my yoga certificate, and I mean there's cows roaming around and they're sacred. So this is a little bit about that perseverance, and that they provide so much for us. I mean, they don't eat the meat of the cows over there, that's for sure. The cows just can lie down in the middle of the road. So it's a little bit of an extended way of life over there. But if that's their belief system and you're in their country, you just go along with it. You have to go around the cow and its ploppings. So October, you also have what I see up the top here, that you're on track with your Akashic records, because all of these little figures are saying so. And the compass with this devil sort of looking fellow here, he's come back from being in the other side in hell, and he's now wanting to do good. So it could even be your personality. We've all got that devilish sort of a nature. So when I say that, we could have sort of tried to get into those get rich quick schemes, and we could have been tried to get the lotto win. We've tried to get some luck and tried to have an easier ride, but really, from my experience, what you have to do is just hard work. But the devil here holding on to this wheel tells me that he is even realizing that he's got to follow his Akashic leadership, his reason for being in that book. why are you here? You're a soul in this meat outfit, and it's reflecting your inner light. And to me, that's what I'm here doing this for now, is to try and encourage people to find their inner light. And to me, that's what that little devil is. But also what I like here, if we have like a sphinx type figure there with the sword pointing to the universe, and that sword is your antenna to listen to the higher realms. So these angels can guide you, but it's ultimately up to you to not go down the devilish path, to actually sit and find and get those signals from the higher consciousness, from source, from the universe, and take the road that's best suited to you. Getting a bit croaky. So another major arcana card, 10, which is the Wheel of Fortune. And you know that I've said that anything to do with the major arcana is 10, 20-fold. Right, November's just jumped out. Okay, November is the Queen of Cups. So the Queen here, she's sitting in this, and I would say that throne is made out of shells, because she's got a few little trinkets down here, that ones that she's saved. I know when I go with Poppy on the beach, we always come back with a bag full of shells or unusual rocks. So she has found that the smaller things in life are precious to her, not the big flash car or, you know, the big house or whatever. She's happy there sitting in her shell throne, and it's got angels and cherubs at the top of it, and another angel in here. She's got a robe on with clouds on it. So I think that's a symbol of her pushing through the stormy parts of life. And here she is with the biggest urn you've ever seen. It's like a trophy. So the Queen of Cups, that's the biggest cup out of all of the suits of cups. And she's looking at it. She's looking at it whimsically, sort of deja vu-ish. She's sort of going like, can I believe that I had that life? You know, there's so many things that we do. I was married and of course had my daughter, but that life, that part of my life, I can hardly remember, you know, because it's so long ago, because I'm getting older. So the Queen of Cups, I'm with her. Looking back at our lives, we can sometimes be going, now, did that happen? And remembering things, and I think that that's why this card's coming out, because we're remembering things now that were sort of stashed away and stowed away, and that's because of all of this astrological lineups, Lionsgate, all these wonderful new moons and eclipses this month. It's all designed for us to see those old memories in that urn and then say, I acknowledge you, and I acknowledge you that, you know, that was a crossroads in my life and I could have gone a different way, but I chose to go this way, and I'm happy with what I chose, and I'm happy with where life's taken me, and I've learnt from it. So the Queen of Cups, because she is queenly, gracious, she's accepted that those things that are in that urn are what shaped her to be in this spiritual body, with her white dress on here, and at that part of her life now where she's really sitting happy in her own skin. So that's you, November. Wow, Queen of Cups. We're getting some cards that are quite up there. You know, they're quite high. We haven't got any low sort of numbers or anything, have we? So this is December. So December, babies, you've got the Five of Cups. So the Five of Cups, now the cups are about your emotions in the tarot. This fellow's auric field is very narrow. So here we have somebody who's sort of curving over. They're virtually like Nelly in the fetal position, if you have a look. And you've got 5 cups. You've got 3 spilt there and 2 there standing up just next to this person, but they're not seeing it because they're so engrossed in their own pity, maybe self-pity. So sorry, in December, people, snap out of it, because life is meant to be lived. Like all the chaos that's happening in the world, if you come back to your grassroots, a bit like that sun, go back and have a look at the sun, December babies, because the sun is where we're meant to get on our white divine horse and we ride into life without all the no's, without all the rejections, without all the hurts, like a new little soul, and have that appreciation. Like I've got a beautiful garden out there. You know, I've got a beautiful pool in my backyard. I've got an okay car that gets me from A to B. I don't need a Mercedes-Benz or a Porsche or anything. So that's the sort of things that you can be grateful for in December. And you know what happens in December? I mean, poor December babies, they have Christmas and they have all the stressful shopping and everything in their month. It's probably a whirl for them. So December babies, have a look at the sun, and that's good old September, and see whether or not you can take some tips from that September reading about the sun. But here we have a bridge, and a bridge in tarot, it tells me that you need to go over that bridge across your emotional state. Like, pick your chin up, stop looking down and not seeing the expanse of what's out there for you. You know, stop being narrow-minded perhaps, because there's a big house and a big castle over there, and there's a lot of people that have had the same sort of knocks that you have. They've had the same and got the same melancholy sort of approach, but snap out of it, guys. Like, have that, look around you and see what you can appreciate and snap out of that, the doldrums. Gosh, I'm so sorry, but I have to be true to the reading that I'm getting for this card. So 5 of Cups, and then you see the 3 of them that are quite spilt. Well, that's just your past emotional states. One's red, one's green, and the other one's probably, well, one might be like wine. The other one looks like Ribena. That used to be like a Ribena berry or something, isn't it? So now we're up to January babies. January crew, here's your card. Ace of Swords, but it's in reverse. So the Ace of Swords are about your thoughts, and the Aces are all about a gift from the universe. And even though this is in a reverse position, I wouldn't be getting too worried about that, because you can turn your card around. Actually, it's not in the reverse position. Look, it's upright. That's great. And when it's a bold and bald ground here, that's just telling me that this idea that's royal and regal and got growth on the top of it there is coming in from the universe in your intuition because of the purple of the third eye. And it's going to be some great inspirational idea that you're getting, some insight that it's nothing to do with anything that you would normally have done. So if you've got a career in and you're an accountant, this will be completely different. It'll be an idea about something completely new that you think to yourself, wow, this has come in out of the blue. This is sort of like a divine message perhaps that I'm meant to be able to explore and maybe make something happen in that area. It could be, you know, being a chef and how, you know, you can organise the knives or something to be some new material, and because you're an accountant, you sort of think to yourself, well, I can make this happen because I know numbers. So there you go. That's January is the Ace of Swords. And whether it came out in reverse or upright, because you're getting this reading, it flips things. It can actually give you that guidance. It can spot obstacles, but it can also spot opportunities for you to move things and change things. So I like to think that if anything comes out in reverse, because that's usually a postponement or a delay or the exact reverse meaning of what that card's theme is, we can change that. That's why we get a reading. That's why you have a 10-card reading with me or a 5-card reading with me. So February, you're just being a little bit obstinate. February is a little bit naughty. Come on. Just give it a shuffle. Oh, now I'm getting half a dozen. So here we have the 9 of Wands in reverse. So wands are again about your purpose, your mission, your talent. And what we have here upright, and I'm going to give you the reverse version in a moment, but here we have a wall of ideas and purposes with a lot of growth on each of those sticks, but he's holding one, and look at the bandage on his head. It's given him a headache big time to try and work out what one to grab hold of and focus on. The red in his outfit is being practical and grounded and all of those things. So that's what you need, that practicality, to be able to now put that idea into place. But because of yours was in reverse February, it's just saying to me there's a postponement or a delay on you being able to implement that and focus on that one thing. To give you an example, it might be that you've got an elderly parent and you're sorting out some care for them, so you have to put off your endeavours and your projects until mum or dad is settled into their nursing home, say. That's just an example. So 9 of Wands in reverse. So there you go. That was a definite reverse one. And what else I can tell is in the background of this one, when you see greenery in the background, that's growth. And when you see this orange colour here, the orange is your sacral sexual colour of your chakras, and I'll be talking about that on Magical Mystical Monday in a couple of weeks, not next week but the one after. Chakras are energy vortexes that we can't see, but they're part of our body. And if you get in touch and open your creative chakra, that will help you towards making that one wand or purpose that you've got in your hands there. It'll make it easier to create and get to happen. So that's an interesting slant on the chakras, because the chakras are pretty important, and the colours in these tarot cards are most important. And then to me it comes back to what chakra that you can enhance or make sure it's not blocked, and then you can get your action happening in that area, in the area of creativity. And we know when I say it's a creative sexual chakra, that one is about passion, sensuality as well, but that's where anybody gets their mojo and their excitement and their enthusiasm. That's that chakra there, and it's just above the pubic bone, not quite up. Like your solar plexus is the next one up, which is the yellow, and that's about an inch above your belly button. So the sacral sexual chakra is where your curve of your tummy is at the beginning of your pubic bone, and equal to your sacrum, those little dimples in your back. That's your sacral sexual chakra area. So if you wanted to tonight, you February babies, lie just with your hands on that area and just wish that there'd be some healing done and some opening to my chakra, my sacral sexual chakra, please. I was going to say something, but I won't, because if you have a partner, he may be very happy that you're getting that area open. So here we have January, February, March. So March babies, it's a reverse card. It's the 8 of Swords. I don't mind when this is in reverse, because the 8 of Swords upright is you feeling like you're trapped, blindfold, and even suppressed with a rope there or a sash around you. So swords are thoughts, and all of us can be a little bit like this. We can feel like we're surrounded by a busy, chaotic, negative thoughts. So each one of those swords would be a negative thought. And really, it's not even completely surrounding her. It's about halfway around. Imagine if she's blindfolded and she's hearing the water in the background, raging and splashing, and she'll be thinking, oh my God, I could drown. It's all of those fear, dread, negative thoughts that are making you not want to see, so you're blindfold on. But that sash is quite loose. I mean, when it's in reverse, if I was her, I would let those sashes come off you. I would be sort of opening, you've then got your arms to be able to open and pull down that blindfold and look around, a little bit like the 5 of Cups there before. What have I got around me? I've got so much around me. I've got so many opportunities. I've got so many support systems here, and I have got a creative mind, because there's that orange again from the creative sexual chakra there. So she's in a dress of creativity. So in reverse March, people, things are falling away, those thoughts are falling away, that negativity, you're onto it every time you have a bit of a criticism about yourself, you're stopping yourself and going, no, I'm a great person, and look what I've done in my life. I'm very adept at what I do, and I'm a great partner, and I'm a great mother, and I'm a great child, or whatever. It's you have to have that positive talk, or you will feel quite trapped and blindfolded, like this person here, suppressed. So March people, I'm loving that this is the 8 of Swords, but it's in reverse. And see, sometimes the reverse cards are better than when it is upright, because it's quite limiting, that card, when we look at that upright. March, April babies. Let's have a look at April people. Lovely time of the year here in Australia. I'm not sure what it's like over where you are, but it's still quite lovely and warm here in April, so it'll be cold in other countries. So let's have a look. Oh, here we go. April, you've come out with the 3 of Swords. So this is hurts, disillusionments, disappointments, again, fear, tragedy, drama, hurtful feelings, and the storm represents that. So in comes the sword to your heart and pierces your heart. And so I'm not sure with the April babies whether they are having a tough time at the moment and they're feeling like they've been stabbed in the heart. And if that's the case for you, just what the other color I can see that's standing out is your purple of your intuition. Use your intuition instead of sort of stamping somebody with the memories and the hurts from the past, because this well could be things that you're holding on to in your heart. So just to give you an example, if you've got somebody new coming into your romantic sphere and they're slightly reminding you of a couple of the other partners you may have had, this can be a warning sign to, yes, definitely be aware and awake that this could be another test from the universe, and they're testing to see whether or not you're going to spot them just as quickly, because they can come with different clothes on. They can be a different look. They can come in a different way, but they can be the core, not so nice person. And you would be able to see it. Don't get hurt by this person. Be intuitive enough and not get carried away with all their wonderful compliments and little gifts and stuff like that, because you want somebody that you can relate to and negotiate and have a chat with, not who has a fight and then buys you a bunch of flowers to smooth it over. So I think that this card is saying that you have had a hurt heart in the past, and that the storm clouds are hanging over you a little bit still. And I also think that you need to be aware of it and awake of it about it, but just not, if somebody comes in to your heart space, give them a chance. I mean, if you're getting tested by the universe, and we do when we start to stand up for ourselves and go, no, I'm worth more than being treated like that, I'm not putting up with that. Quite often you might break up with that person and then you'll have somebody else come along very similar, and the universe is testing you to see whether or not you're going to fall back into those old habits. Don't fall into the patterns. So past hurts can be a good thing in a way, because it does give you those signals quite quickly, the red flags. So that's for April. And see, I'm not one of these tarot readers that just pick out the wonderful things and sort of put that card away. I shuffle in front of you for a reason. It's because sometimes you have to be told about the obstacles and the not so nice things to avoid the obstacles even more. 3 of Swords, and it's a little bit of heartache, despair and hurt there. So, May. And May is the King of Wands in reverse. So the King of Wands in reverse, let me tell you, with you May people, upright, the King of Wands is like a mover and a shaker. He's very calm though, as you can see. He's a leader. Looking at his wand there, his purpose, his mission, which has growth on it. The salamander there says that salamanders in the tarot, very wise. That's a symbol of wisdom. And if you have a look on his robe, there's a heap of salamanders with their tails in their mouth, and even that, it looks like Saturn up on his throne, but that's actually two salamanders, and the tail coming around into their mouth is the roundness of the wisdom that this person has, this King of Wands, king of purposes and missions. And the red is practical, the green around his heart there, which is the colour of the heart chakra, and we'll talk about that, like I said, with the Magical Mystical Mondays in a couple of weeks. He's coming from the heart. He has yellow also on his robe, and he also has an orange blanket. So he's got quite a few of the chakra colours. Very balanced person. This actual slab here is slightly lilac. It doesn't really show up in here. It shows up more for me. I'll try and bring it closer. See how it's like a little purple, a bit like the flowers on my print. So that's your third eye. And when you're standing or sitting and you're coming from a strong slab of intuition, you combine that with the red of the logical and the practical, the creative of the orange, the confidence of the yellow, the wisdom and the heart chakra of coming from the heart. All of those aspects of you just make you a great leader. That's why it's called the king, but it's in reverse. So May babies, I would say that you're feeling a little bit out of control, a little bit not able to lead at the moment. You might be just exhausted, so you're just happy to follow the flow at the moment. So I'm just going to put that down because I think the King of Wands in reverse is virtually allowing you to give yourself a little bit of a break. Don't be so hard on yourself. If you're normally like the king and making all the decisions and taking all the responsibility, maybe it's time to have a weekend away, a long weekend, a holiday, something like that. I'm feeling you're quite exhausted. June, what have we got for June babies? We've got a Page of Swords in reverse. A page is like a learner, a student, and it's in reverse though of thoughts. So upright, when we speak about the Page of Swords, it can be when you're young and in your teenage years and you're looking away from your mind, from what your thoughts about, I should be really going to uni and all I want to do is party. There's clouds brewing there. It can be that we're ignoring something about that's in our mind that can be stopping us from moving forward, stopping us from achieving. A little bit like the Five of Cups, when our emotional cups fall over and we just get into that state of dread and, I can't take a risk and start a business again because I tried that once and it failed. So you've got that, you're in that groove on that record thinking that it's going to happen again. Poof, that's got to come out. And all of these stars and astrology and Lionsgate and all of the eclipses, which is always illuminating something, then the darkness of the moon comes between the sun and the earth, and then we see things in a different way. That's what you've got to hope for. We've got a full moon. No, it's a new moon in Leo, and it's a solar eclipse, and it's happened this morning. So in Australia. So it'll be the 12th for Northern Hemisphere people. I nearly covered myself with the coffee then. It's the bottom of the cup. I'm getting to the dreg. So June is the Page of Swords in reverse. So your thoughts, you know what else it can be too. I'm just thinking, if that's upright, is you looking away from your thoughts and not facing things. And when it's in reverse, you may well be, I should be giving you some credit here, June babies. You are looking at your memories and your patterns and your behaviours from the past. You may have been a learner driver, but now you're experienced and mature at assessing your deepest thoughts on things. So you're not just rushing in and making that impulsive decision. You're getting your research done and you're getting advice and you're taking your time to make the decisions, which is your thoughts. So I'm actually liking that. July. July is the last one for this particular extended version of the monthly cards. Oops, here we have. Now it came out sideways, came out like that. So July babies, I'm going to read both. Here you are with all your thoughts again in your boat. It's been rocky waters there and it's very smooth over there, and that's where you want to head, you July babies. You want to be where the tide is nice and smooth. No more, traumatic emotional, because water's emotion. No more traumatic things that you want in your life. So you're electing to go a different direction. So this person steering the boat can be nobody, or it can be somebody that's helping you, a nice friend. You've got a little child in the boat with you. So I think that the swords, the thoughts that you've got in your boat, which I think is your head, you've had to ignore because you've had other responsibilities, either responsibilities to your spouse or your children or your employer. You might have been the employer to your staff. So you've had a lot of responsibility and you've kept those thoughts in your boat, in your head, but you're wanting to go over to that new area over there. It looks like a bit of an island across that lake there. But you know what? If you take those same thoughts with you, no matter where you go, they're going to be there and they're going to stop you from being your full potential. So I think if it's in reverse, it can be a good thing too, because remember, it came out like that. Because your heavy end of the swords are going to fall out. Look, it's only just in that boat by a tip, the tip of the swords. I think this is a symbol of you letting go of your old thought patterns, letting go of the restrictions, letting go of the memories, letting go and acknowledging that, yes, they've shaped me to who I am today. And I did have to ignore those things because I was a mother and I had to work, and I had to work full time to provide the security for my children. So the responsibilities of the world have been great, but I think now you are actually taking some time. I just went to Bali for 10 days to a breathworks retreat, and we did a lot of releasing of thoughts and memories and past, the little child in you, the little girl in me that may have been hurt by one thing that my mother might have said or my father might have done, and it's stuck in that hard drive. And we defragged while we were over at that particular retreat, 13 women, lovely circle of support. In a relaxed state, we were able to let go of old patterns and behaviours and restrictions that we'd had on our lives. So it's like bye-bye to those, and here I am sitting in front of you sharing as much wisdom as what I've got in my 67 years that I can impart. So please join me here on Jacaranda Insights. Every single weekday you'll have something happening. Have a great week until I see you next week for Tarot Thursday, but keep an eye out because it's Footsie Friday tomorrow.